Yo, what's good, gang? It's the Dope Guy, and I am back with another video, big dog. Yo, hope you guys are all doing well out there because I'm doing alright, and here I am spinning the block with content for y'all, man, on my soul. Hey, yo, today's video, we got how does German parenting differ from the US, bro? Now, this is a video I'm very interested in, man. Shout out to all my people in Germany. What's up? Respect to y'all, man, because I know how the parenting is over here in the States, you know what I'm saying? Especially in the black community, I know how parenting could go, you know what I'm saying? Parents be quick to grab that belt. Not saying all, but most are quick to grab that belt when a kid messes up or whatever. Or anything, bro. The discipline is very different, man. I can imagine it's gonna be different compared to out there in Germany or any other place in the States. Well, in the world, bro. Let me say that. I can imagine. So I know this video is gonna be not entertaining. Why I'm saying that? It's not entertaining. It's gonna be informative. I'm sorry, man. It's early, bro. It's gonna be informative. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see how the parenting skills differ, man. And I'm very interested, and I cannot wait to tap into this video. But before we do that, subscribe to the Dope Guy. That way to get notifications every time I upload. And from right here on Snapchat to Instagram, right across the bottom of the screen. So with that being said, I'm not gonna hold y'all much longer because y'all already know this. Go, big dog. Let's get into it. Yes, sir.
Is Germany safer for kids than the US? Why do German children travel to school alone so young?
Oh, no, I did that. That's something I never knew that, bro. It gets to a certain age where you can do that. Like, say if school is in walking distance, like say around the corner or something, then yeah, or whatever. But there's kids who actually, there's some kids, probably they don't start traveling to school by themselves until they get to high school, really, or maybe 8th grade or whatever, when they're deemed responsible, bro. That's when they really can do it. But little kids, bro, like my niece's age, she's like 6. Absolutely not, bro. You know what I'm saying? Kids don't probably start walking to school by themselves where I'm from till about 10, 11. I know when I was 10, 11 years old when I caught the city bus by myself going to school. So, well, coming home from school, really. But I would say around that age, like 10, 11 years old, I was doing that. So I would say that would probably be the appropriate age range for real.
And is it true that German playgrounds are actually built to be dangerous? Let's find out.
Damn.
I first came from the US to Germany to work as an au pair, which is basically a nanny abroad.
Okay.
On the first day, I met my host family. And we all went to the playground together. As their 7-year-old, who would soon be my responsibility, climbed up to the top of this somewhat terrifying-looking playground, their parents asked me to join them for a walk across the park. Shouldn't we ask little Nicholas to come with us? I asked. Oh, him? Nah, he'll be fine up there. We'll see when we come back, they said.
What?
That was my first clue that playtime in Germany is a little different than I was used to in the States.
I bet.
I've since learned that German parents just tend to be more relaxed about their children than American parents.
Absolutely,
For example, I was shocked when I first saw kids in Berlin around age 6 or 7 taking public transport to school by themselves.
Now, my grandmother, God rest her soul, was someone who said she used to do that when she was like 5, 6 years old. But, you know, that was like in the late 40s or whatnot. Late 40s, early 50s she was doing that. So, times is different, bro. You know what I'm saying? My granny was deemed responsible at a young age, bro. She did a lot of things on her own. If she had to get somewhere, she did it, bro. And I know as in this day and age, that's not happening for real. It really isn't.
This would never happen where I'm from, but it's pretty normal here. Unlike American children, German children are not typically watched every second. They're expected to learn life skills early and be independent.
That's dope, but
ich habe immer sie machen lassen, ne? Und wenn sie gesagt hat, nee Mama, ich will das alleine machen, nicht festhalten, habe ich das auch nicht gemacht.
Später wollen sie auch nicht immer bei den Eltern sein, dann wollen sie halt die Welt selber entdecken, dann ist man halt in der Nähe, verfolgt es, ich meine, gerade das gehört ja zum Großwerden auch dazu und dann, sollen sie auch ihren eigenen Weg gehen dürfen.
So-called free-range parenting doesn't exist here in Germany the way it does in the US, because that kind of parenting is just the standard here.
That's what's up.
So is Germany really that much safer than the States?
Probably.
Growing up in Ohio in the 90s and early 2000s, I was allowed to run around alone with my friends. Now some of my friends are parents themselves and wouldn't think of letting their kids do that.
Right. Different era. Safety
is a big concern for American parents today, especially with all of the frightening headlines about children being abducted.
Yep. That's exactly why.
There were around 375,000 reported entries for missing children in the U.S. in 2023. In Germany, it was just over 90,000.
Damn.
Compared to each country's population, though, it works out to be about the same percentage of kids missing.
crazy, bro.
But in both countries, the chances of a child being abducted by a stranger is actually quite small. And the person responsible is usually a parent or family member who doesn't have custody of the child. And in both countries, nearly all
I can see that being a thing, especially if they lost custody of their kid and they just creep around or shit like that. I've heard stories like that, so I get that.
children are actually recovered. Here in Berlin, I more often hear parents worried about their kids crossing a busy road, or photos of them being posted on social media.
Every kid got a
The difference in
phone.
parenting styles between the two countries does seem to be cultural. It's simply more normal for German parents to let their children out of sight than American parents. Tori Book, an American living here in Berlin, is adjusting to the German style of parenting after having her first child here.
I think German parents are just a little more relaxed, a little more chill, like less obsessed with I have to track everything, have to know everything about my child, where they're doing things, when they did something, and there's a lot more of an attitude of kids will develop the way they develop and we don't need to be so observant and so careful about tracking every little thing.
Tori tries out her German-inspired parenting style on the playgrounds here, which look a little different from what we're used to in the US.
Word.
I love German playgrounds. I think they're amazing. Like, I think the problem in the US is we have a very cookie-cutter notion of, like, a playground has to look like this and have these features, and I feel like here the attitude is a lot more, kids are kids, they love to be creative, they love to explore and have different experiences.
I like that.
Let's give them really varied playgrounds.
I know what she means. My playgrounds growing up mostly looked like this.
Yep.
Colorful, plastic, not too high, no sharp edges.
Yep.
So I was shocked when I first saw German playgrounds, often metal or wooden with more natural features and lots of character and whimsy.
Now, that's some of that stuff out here, bro, but not to that degree, though.
They're downright terrifying, even for me as an adult. To be honest, the first thought in my American brain was that German playgrounds look like a lawsuit waiting to happen. But I learned that they're actually built with risks involved on purpose.
Okay.
The idea is that children who face risks while playing will learn to better manage tricky situations and thus better manage their adult life later.
That makes sense.
Studies show children who don't face these risks are more prone to things like obesity, mental health issues, a lack of independence, and a decrease in learning, perception, and judgment skills.
Okay.
So while Americans tend to build their playgrounds as safe as possible, Germans tend to build theirs as safe as necessary. Even insurance experts in Germany agree. They recommend playgrounds with calculated risks involved, balanced with safety features to promote problem-solving skills. You might think American playgrounds can't look like this because Americans are more likely to sue when their child gets hurt. But actually, despite the stereotype, Americans are less likely to sue than you might think. Only a small percentage of civil court cases in the US actually involve personal injury, and most of those are related to car accidents. The difference is Germans are less likely to win millions in a lawsuit against a playground where their child got hurt. That's because the sense of personal responsibility is strong here, and you're expected to accept the risks at the places where you go.
Got it.
But I was really surprised.
So basically, if your kid gets into some shit, it's expected to happen. You know what I'm saying? You put them in that position. Hey, what can you do, bro? What can we? Well, you can't sue. You put them in that. You put in that predicament. So, you know what I'm saying? Deem responsible.
Learn all this, and I have to say, I prefer the German playgrounds. So how does this all compare to your country? Are children also given this much freedom there? Let us know in the comments.
I can tell you right now, it's not like that out here, bro. Because when I take my niece to the playgrounds, and it's a big park we have out here in Chicago called Maggie Daly Park. If you're ever in Chicago, check that park out. It's really nice. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, bro. It's one of the nicest parks we have in the city, bro. It's been around for about over 10 years, bro. But yeah, I take my niece to that park often, and you know what I'm saying? I have to keep my eye on her. For one, she's a little girl, and for two, I just gotta keep my eye on her, like, because you know, it's weirdos out here, bro. So I always feel like I have to keep my eye on her. That's why I always tell her, don't run so fast ahead of me because I'm gonna lose track of you. But I always make sure she'll always make sure she's in my eyesight, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. Like, I ain't mad about it in Germany, bro. If that's how they feel, how they for the kids to learn responsibility and mature a little faster, hey, I'm all for it, bro. I'm not against that at all. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the parents in Germany who raise their kids that way, man. I'm not mad at that, bro. There's people who probably won't rock with that or have at it, man. People are entitled to their opinion, but hey, man, I'm all for it, bro. Wherever you float your boat, have at it, man. So shout out to my people in Germany. Much love, respect to y'all, bro. I wish I was experiencing playgrounds as a kid. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, but hey, it is what it is, man. Because I've had my mom or my grandma, they were overly protective when we go play outside or whatever, bro. You know, so the only time you really roam by yourself in the streets is when you with your friends, for real. Like a group of y'all. That's the only time we can really do that. But when it's just like a couple of us or maybe one of us, no, not at all. But hey, shout out to everybody in Germany. Much love, respect. But yo, I hope you enjoyed the reaction to this video. If you enjoyed my reaction, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the Dope Guy Big Dog. Hit the notification bell whenever I upload. Follow me right here on Snapchat and Instagram right across the bottom of the screen. Any other videos you may check out, please comment in this video, my other videos, and leave likes and comments on all my videos to help grow the channel, help with the algorithm for sure. Any more videos you may check out, leave a comment in the comment section below. Now I got you. I'm gonna spin the block. But yeah, man, it's the Dope Guy, and I am out. Yes, sir.